Right, this is Cam Kelly, and welcome to yet another Devil Talk. As always, joined by what can only be described as my shiny-headed compadre. It's Brent Pope.
Hi, how are you today, Cam? You know, I got to tell you something. Do you know that we're now on the conveyor belt to Christmas, and it's getting exciting?
Well, thank you. I wasn't aware of that until you shared it with me.
Last night we had an event in the Bay. Winter Wonderland opened up this week. Do you feel the Christmas?
I do feel the Christmas. I was down at that launch for the Winter Wonderland with Gareth Bale.
Oh.
And according to a very close source of mine at Coca-Cola,
yes,
apparently holidays are coming, holidays are coming.
Well, this is fair.
Via a big red truck. We're not here necessarily to talk about Christmas. I'm glad that we are feeling festive. Today we have with us Stuart MacRae. Hi, Stuart.
How you doing?
I'm very well, thanks. And yourself?
I'm doing good, thanks.
How does Cardiff differ from Sydney, Nova Scotia? I imagine they always say, don't they, that Cardiff is Britain's Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it's quite a bit bigger than where I live in Sydney, which is a population of 25 or 30,000. So, it's a little bit bigger, and other than that, it's very similar. As far as friendly people and nice coastline and people are outdoorsy and all that stuff. So it's not that different really.
Okay. Right now that we've figured out the similarities between Cardiff and Nova Scotia,
geography.
Look, it's one of those burning issues that needed settling, and when we've got it straight from the horse's mouth, that's been settled.
It is one of the nicest places in the world, though. Cabot Trail that goes around Nova Scotia. I think I spent time in Sydney and time during my hockey career playing there, and I spent too much time in the casino that's right adjacent to the arena. And while I don't want to talk about that, it was a part of my memory from being in Sydney, Nova Scotia. And also Smooth Herman's, which was a good night out. And I don't know if Smooth
Herman's is now defunct, unfortunately.
Oh, what happens? This is the night trade industry. These things evolve and change, don't they?
Now, I've never been and I've never experienced Smooth Herman's, but please tell me it's been replaced by something just as worthy.
It is. Well, I hope so. Is there something still
Yeah,
open
there's another little club called the Capri Cabaret that's popped up in its place. So, yeah, we're not too hard off.
Okay, all right. This section of this particular show is brought to you by the Nova Scotia Tourist Board, just in case there is no place quite like Nova Scotia. Right, before we move on to... look, move. Let's go. Come on, let's get back to Cardiff. Before we move on to this weekend games, I want to talk about last weekend game because the Sunday game against the Braehead clan was one of the most amazing games of hockey I've ever seen. To play in it, was it as hectic as it seemed from the stands?
It didn't feel that hectic to me, but when you're playing hockey all your life, every game, more or less feels the same, except for, a couple handful here or there. But I thought... we were a little tired, but hopefully it didn't show, and it sounds like you enjoyed yourself, so hopefully some other fans did as well.
It didn't show at all. What I would say is that it looked like it possibly was one of the harder games that you've played this season.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, it was definitely a new experience for a lot of guys coming right from the airport into the rink, and having the visiting team actually at the rink before us was a little different. So, we did the best we could, and unfortunately we lost in the end, and kind of one of those things could have went either way, I think.
I think it consisted of every commentator's cliche, including it really was end-to-end stuff. To be honest with you, watching it from the stands, it was almost like watching a game of tennis, because you're left, then you're right, then you're left, then you're right, and the puck was just at each end of the rink every 10 seconds. And then Chris Frank.
Well, he got hitting from behind. He got a match penalty.
I
think
3 games. I think he's got
3 game suspension now. So not great because actually, in honesty, that was maybe a turning point in a hockey game. In fact, I think quite clearly it was. But it was a tight hockey game either way. But whatever led to that particular action, and then obviously the subsequent call. Left us a little bit short, and it will us now for the next 3 games.
Because there are a few scuffles. Was there anything in particular that made Chris do what he did? Was there any vengeance? Had someone done something which he didn't agree with, or was it just the opportunity was there, so he thought he'd floor that dude?
There's nothing that I know of. I think part of it maybe was we were already shorthanded at the time, and sometimes you can get away with a little bit more when you're already shorthanded. But in that situation, the ref made the call, and then like Brent said, we had to go down to 4D there, so it was kind of a little bit of a turning point for us in that game.
When you are down a player or two, do you up your game? Do you consciously up your game? I'm one of those supporters that when I see my team going down a man, I actually think this is where we could score, because I tend to think that everyone else ups their game to compensate and become a powerful team.
Yeah, I mean, some guys actually like it because they get on the ice a lot more and they get more into the game, but I think there's just, the fine line between, being into the game and playing a lot, and then you hit that wall where you're just playing too much, and then maybe start making mental mistakes because you're tired.
At the end of the Braehead Clan game, because it was right down to the last minute, wasn't it? Extra time, and then it was that final goal.
18 seconds.
Do you know what? It was that was hard to see. It was an amazing game, but that was really hard to see. Did anyone burden any blame for that after the game? Did you as a team turn on any one person or not and go, what was that? What happened there?
Oh, no. I mean, that's a good thing about hockey. I mean, it's really is a team game. So that was, one play. But it was 60 minutes of hockey before that, and everyone made mistakes and everyone made good plays. So, I mean, that's just the way it goes sometimes. We've all been there before.
Looking ahead to this weekend, it's Coventry home on Saturday night and then Coventry away on Sunday. How are we feeling about that? Now, you're 5th in the table, Coventry 4th in the table.
Well, I think we're 6 points behind them, so we can't, catch them this weekend, but we can definitely make strides into catching them. So I think they might have a game in hand. So obviously we're looking to go and take 4 points, and then we'll be really tight with them, and we'll keep climbing up the table as the year goes along.
How do you gain confidence on Saturday to play them away on Sunday? Would that be a case of making a massive goal deficit?
No, I think we're pretty confident. We had one of our better games was in Coventry this year where we won 2-0. It's not easy to shut out a team in their home rink, so we're gonna have that in the back of our minds. But yeah, obviously Saturday night, if we go and put a few more goals on the board, we'll be feeling even better going into that Sunday game.
I know that on previous Devil Talks we've spoken, and certainly from G to various other players have spoken about your away record this season. That's starting to improve. Last Saturday, case in point, away at Belfast. So that was a nice win. Obviously, hoping to take that with you this weekend as well.
Yeah, I mean we've played some really good games of hockey this year, and on the other side we've lost a few games that myself and all the guys feel that we should have won, but that happens. I think winning, like I said, 2-0 in Coventry, 2-1 in Belfast. I mean, that's just the way we have to play all year. It's not easy to win in those rinks, and you kind of have to play the perfect game. So we'll have to keep doing that there, and well, when we go to Nottingham and Sheffield and all these places, because we're gonna have to win some games on the road if we want to start climbing up the standings.
I think that the teams, both Coventry and Cardiff, are always pretty well emotionally involved in those games when they play. You are against every team, but I think against Coventry is probably our closest rivals now, and a little bit of history of playing well in that building and back at home. Remember, these are 2 individual games. It's not an aggregate score over the weekend. It just happens that we're back-to-back in league play. So 2 separate games. Saturday night is the first focus, and then, everybody wipes the slates clean again, and they go up the road and take on Coventry on the Sunday.
Obviously, we wish you the very best of luck for both games, and I'm looking forward to coming down to the Big Blue Tent on Saturday night. Good luck away on Sunday as well. Stuart MacRae, thanks for coming into Devil Talk today.
All right, thank you very much.
And we'll talk to you again next week, Brent Pope.
We will do. Cheers, Cam. Happy Christmas.